How you doing, people around the world? It's me, Ken Thomas, aka Mr. Smooth. I'm here with a very special guest, former athlete, former Dallas Cowboys himself. He says he's still an athlete. He took my spot as Mission Valley's most fastest referee since the day he got here, because he ran like a 4.240. But Courtney Brown.
How you doing?
How you doing? I'm doing good. So I'm here to ask you. I want to ask you because you're a big time athlete in your day, still are. What role did sports have in your life as you grew up?
Well, it's played a big role in my life in different ways. Sports was always a barrier between meeting new friends, being competitive on and off the field, kind of build relationships with a lot of people you don't normally see from a day-to-day. You kind of start competing against kids in other areas and whatnot, and just different coaches, different athletes, different officials. So you start to build confidence in yourself. Of course, the better you are, the more you play probably in that position and go a lot further and kind of see levels of yourself that you probably wouldn't see if you didn't play sports.
So when you played sports as a young player, probably in high school, were you always the most gifted, most athletic player on the team, or did it take time for you to build into that?
What sport are we talking about?
Oh, so you played multiple sports, what, basketball, football?
Well, I grew up running track and basketball. Those were my number ones. I didn't start football till high school, so I could say I was pretty talented. I was fast, so I was talented in track, talented in basketball, so I was probably that one kid that they picked first most of the time growing up, but not necessarily in football because I got a late start with that one, but my size and speed kind of allowed me to at least perform without knowing the details of the game.
So what made you choose football over track over basketball?
Track, I didn't choose it over track. I had to choose it over basketball, reason being my basketball coach. Long story, I came into high school, track and basketball. A buddy of mine talked me into, Tristan George, shout out, talked me into playing football. Basketball coach didn't like it. Long story short, told me to choose between the two sports. The fact that he chose me to choose, I went the opposite way. Basically said, screw you, going football.
So you went football, so you're a football track star. How did that translate into your college career?
Well, football, I got a late start, like I said, so I wasn't really highly recruited, and they didn't have a lot of tape on me being that I didn't play that much in high school. So it came down to 3 colleges that offered, that were interested in me coming out of high school: Cal, Nevada, and Cal Poly. Cal had a horrible season. The coaching staff got fired. Recruiting went with that, so I went with the recruiting. Nevada didn't have enough film on me, so they ended up going with the JC guy who they thought a little more about, who had more film and more, I guess, trust with what their decision was with that. So Cal Poly ended up being my last choice. So by default, went to Cal Poly.
So you're at Cal Poly. Did you run track for Cal Poly and play football, or was it strictly football?
Nah, man, they didn't pay me for that, so it wasn't no double scholarship. So one scholarship, whoever paid me the money, they're gonna get all of me.
So you're on the football team for Cal Poly. How did your college career play out? Were you all state, all conference, all league?
Well, it started off slow. I was recruited as a wide receiver. So first year, they were a running team. I was a wide receiver on the running team, so I'm cracking back on linebackers and stuff the whole year. And that next summer, the coach needed a DB, so it was either between me and a guy who was already a junior there. Basically, by default, they said, yo, you're moving to defense. Moved to defense, kind of worked in my rotation during that, it was my true sophomore year. So the next junior year, my true junior year, worked hard. I was going in the starting role. First 5 minutes, the first game, tore my ACL. So junior year, ended up redshirting, came back from that the next year. So it'd be my redshirt junior year now. All-American, record in interceptions and all that stuff. They never gave up a touchdown, all that stuff that whole year. Had a great year. Following year, just didn't get any action. Nobody threw me the ball that way. So I kind of shut down one side of the – they just put me on the other team's best receiver and just shut that down and had everybody else go elsewhere. So pretty boring senior year, too.
So you went through all of that, plus, you were a student at the same time.
Yeah.
So how were you a straight-A student, honor roll student, dean's list? Were you a Myron Roll of Florida State or?
Not at that school. That school is academics all the way, man. It's an engineering school, hardcore. So I honestly I worked my butt off. Couldn't even tell some of my teachers that I played football. So no, I didn't get honor roll straight A students, but I worked my butt off in engineering. It's a pretty hard major. So to do both was it was a test of my to prioritize my life and get both of that done. It was important for me and my family to get that education and to graduate as well.
So you had not only success in the classroom, but also on the football field. Right. So how did you know that you had the talent to play in the NFL?
I didn't. I just kept playing, man. Took it day to day, game by game, practice by practice, and it wasn't until my junior year, my true junior year, I talked about, and they were recruiting a senior linebacker ahead of me, who was a good friend of mine, who went to the NFL. And as they came and watched him, they started watching me by default. And then more and more guys were watching me as well. So one day, when they start watching you, showing up looking for you, you kind of get to, oh, maybe I can do this. But it was never a thought of mine growing up, and I just took it day by day and tried to be the best I can, do what I could to be the best at what I did.
So did they invite you to the seniors, the Shrine Games, the Columbine, or did they just watch you at the team individual workouts? Or how did that process play out?
I didn't get invited to the Combine, but I went to San Jose State's pro day. My school was a pretty small school, so their pro day I'd probably get more exposure going to that one. So I went to that one, and I'm not gonna lie, I killed it. Every number there, I killed it. They were there to watch a receiver at San Jose State. He was going to get drafted for sure, and I probably had one of the best days of testing, and a good day to do it. Ran a 4.32, broad jump over 11 feet. I don't know what I benched, but it was probably around above 10, something like that. I don't think they care about that for DBs though. But yeah, I had a good day that day, and it put me on the map within going into the draft and all that stuff.
So you got the draft. Did you get drafted? Did you go undrafted and sign as a free agent, or how?
No, I got drafted to the Cowboys in the 7th round. I think I was the second pick of the 7th round, something like that.
So you're drafted. You're on the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Who was on the Cowboys team? What era? Just so the people at home know what era of team.
It was 2007. 2007 was when we got drafted. So it was, the big names there at that time were Romo, Witten still there. Marion Barber was the starting running back. I think T.O. came in the year after, but T.O. was on the team when I was there. Terrence Newman. It was a bunch of guys. Orlando Scandrick still playing. I'm not going to name the lineman because nobody knows them. So.
So one of the players that you mentioned, you just got into the Hall of Fame. Shout out to my man Terrell Owens. Former Bay Area. We're out here in the Bay Area, so we know who he is. But how was it like going against Terrell Owens in practice?
Man, he's a good dude, good teammate, great teammate. And the only story I got for him, man, I got nothing bad, but he what do you call it? I can't even say broke. He smashed my bicep going into the game. We were in practice, so basically, long story short, he's coming this way, I'm going this way, both attacking the ball. I go up in the air, flip after contact, land, thought the wind was knocked out of me. Go over to the sideline, buddy's looking at me like, your bicep's leaning to the side. The whole bicep was off the side of my arm. So, doing the whole rehab process, he was there every day asking me how I was, what's going on, man, anything he can do. I'm like, at this point, no, just get away from me. I got tired of him asking me how I was every day, every 5 minutes. But, yeah, he was a good teammate, good guy, in my perspective.
So you had your NFL career, you played games, you basically got to live the dream. A lot of people I know, like me, I wanted to be NBA, NFL, but I knew by the time I was in high school, It's not going to happen. It wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
But you were able to live the dream, but now you're here. I've officiated a number of football games, flag football games. How did you become a sports official?
Nate. He's a guy I played with in Dallas, too. He was a former DB with me in Dallas. He moved on to Denver and all that stuff. But he's actually he's one of the poster childs for the NFL officiating right now. He's out of Texas, and he's doing he's going to be a big-time official. So one day he called me and said, try it out, man. I'm going to send you the uniform. You have no excuse. So I said, all right, man, whatever. I never see myself in stripes, so no player has and would probably. But he talked me into trying it out, and that's where my officiating career began.
So what is like, being involved with the community, with the youth, with the kids, officiating their games? What impact can officiating bring to a community that the people don't know about?
I've seen both sides of it, man. A lot of people don't care about officials, a lot of people, all that stuff. But when you get there and a kid, me personally, being a former player, I don't really expose that. Some kids I do, if they ask, they kind of get it after a while. And it becomes different for me for when I'm actually trying to tell them how to do something rather than somebody who's never played the sport. And they're blowing a whistle and thinking some authority figure just trying to control them in the game. It's a different how I can communicate with those kids, and I kind of take that, I want to say power, but with me to better them as people, as players, and how to communicate with officials and communicate with their coaches and other teammates. Because a lot of these kids, I see a lot of stuff that they're doing wrong as far as yelling at the teammates, not paying attention to coaching. There's a lot of different stuff that I can kind of be a mediator in between and not be there for them every day, but just kind of give them tips here and there. Since I'm not with them every day at practice, I'm not trying to be their coach. I'm just trying to give them a little stuff here and there while I'm there in that short amount of time.
So people, especially those players in the Mission Valley, you got an NFL player officiate your games. Take advantage of the knowledge. So I'm going to close it out right there because we got to go, unfortunately. But
yeah, I'm throwing flags on all y'all.
My man, Courtney Brown, it's me, Mr. Smooth. Peace.
See y'all.